Test. All right. Am I live? There we go. Good morning. Happy Easter Monday. Getting everything set up. Seribot is here. All right. So I did do a little bit of play this morning. I managed to get into maps. So now I'm slowly making the transition from Armor Break Bleed to Permafrost. And Incendiary Shot. So I've made the transition already to Permafrost, so mapping feels better already. And I just need to do a bit more farming, and then I can do the next swap and try and make Incendiary Shot work. I was playing around with POB earlier. It's not easy to make the number go up. It is not easy at all. So we will see what happens. But I think I'm just going to ignore the fact that POB says Incendiary Shot doesn't do any damage. And I'm just going to play it. I'm going to play it. I'm going to keep tweaking things until I give up. But that's a while away. And there's always fallbacks. There's always fallbacks. Oh, I was gonna turn the sound up on the game a little bit. But yeah, as you can see, Permafrost in early maps is very strong. So the grinding for gear and, you know, skill gems, support gems, it should go pretty smoothly. I don't know if I'll be able to make the switch today. We'll see. But we already have Eternal Rage online. I need to get my third Ascendancy at some point. For some more defenses. Probably during yellow maps and go get third Ascendancy. Let's play the Find the Last Mob game. As you can see, I still get chunked a bit in white maps. But yeah, you have to. There's a lot of configuration stuff in POE that just isn't even working yet in terms of calculating Incendiary Shot damage, or at least the ignite portion of it. So a lot of the gem is showing as red. So I had to create a fake jewel that had all of the scaling factors in it. Now, unfortunately, POB still says 100,000 DPS, or 170k I think I managed to get the Incendiary Shot DPS to, which is excluding the Molten One's gift bonus from fully broken armor, but I could work out what that is by playing with shock, because it's increased damage taken, so it's additive. It's a lonely day. Mine. Loneliest day of my life. Oh. Yeah, I did. I even put in, when I was doing the POB, I even put in like pretty good gear, like T1 rolls of a lot of stuff. It also turns out that like Yoke of Suffering would be probably ideal. But if not, you know, just a +4 Fireflower would be fine. But also just a good +3 Proj Amulet. I mean, you know, just saying that like it's easy to get in SSF, right? Or semi-small group found. Private league found. But it's softcore, so everything is grindable eventually. I just won't have as much time as I do on a normal league start. Partly because of work and partly because I'm working on my series of videos. This is a weird mix. Wow, these ritual rings in Savannah are just so spread out. One of the few times I'm like, ritual, come on, spawn faster. Boom, 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 boom. Right to the limit. Yeah, but yeah, my POB calculation was like with a 6-link, with a really well-rolled Desolate crossbow, you know, with Essence of Battle, damage is extra fire, and then I think I did T2, T3 percentage and flat, because that's the most like realistic. Oh, I was gonna do Temple, I need to do Temple. Keep forgetting.
Take our gold and go.
Selling rares for gold, because we need gold. I'll keep the Omen of Resurgence around.
For Doriani.
I think I've leveled up significantly enough. I did manage to fix a bunch of my gear, so I have like passable resistances now and like okay armor. But my gears are pretty bad. Where did you come from? Oh, I need to put these on the right skill gems. This goes here. This goes in crossbow shot 2. Alright, remember to go to temple after this map.
Simple enough.
Yeah, my defenses video is turning into a bit of a beast. And I'm still not fully convinced I have the core of my argument sorted out. So I think, like, even if I did get the core of the argument sorted out, you know, in the next day or two, I think with what I have planned for the video, it's just going to be way too much work to get done in 1 week. So it's likely going to be 2 weeks to get it out. Oh, I made a cup of tea. I haven't even had a sip. Alright, find the last mob. Can you play the game with me? There it is. I guess I take splinters and reroll. That's 4 proj. Yeah, just reroll. Oh, Omen of the Ancients, eh? Don't we just take Omen of the Ancients and some splinters? That sucks. Take some armorer scraps as well.
Simple enough.
I'm actually noticing the lower density in these early maps. Yeah, I think these big open maps really demonstrate some of the current issues with, like, you know, layout inside the maps, but I know they're looking at it. You know, this is a lot of running. Not ideal. Oh, Billy Talent. Big fan of Billy Talent. Just such great, like, high energy music. Just probably dodge these things, eh? You know, I was really struggling to find earlier while I was doing research for the defensive video. I was trying to find footage of an Uber boss in POE 1. Wow, that's a good suffix. Yeah, footage of a boss in POE 1 where You know, they don't just zerg down the boss and then have to do the movement phase.
What is it? The deal is made.
Like there's a little bit of dodging of stuff in like, you know, the early phase of Maven. But a lot of the time they just die. They just eat the hit and die because they have 6 portals.
Take our gold and go. Fine.
Maybe I need to be looking at like a ruthless kill of Maven or something. Or Uber Maven. Because, I mean, I've heard the argument that, you know, PoE and 1 Uber bosses have like mechanics you have to do, they have movement. But I'm unconvinced at the moment. Right, temple. Let's go to temple. Not that temple. Silly. The Val temple, not the Chaos temple. I can't lay down any of these armories, eh? Why doesn't the armory upgrade this one? Oh, because it's already connected to an armory, right? Gotcha. Alright, well I can do that. And then we can prop another prosthetic research. You can also do the architect if we want. I don't think I'm going to do the architect this early in the build. What level's the area? It's the level there. The level area is only 67. Yeah, maybe I do need to kill. I guess I'm only level 68, so the temple's not started leveling up with me yet. So maybe this would be a good time to do the architect, start getting some stuff. I don't think I'm going to do like a big full temple anyway, because I'd rather try my luck at Aziri's Splendor. I really like that as an item. I'm going to do on gold. Pretty good on gold. I'll probably stop picking up stuff to sell to the vendor when I get to 1,000,000 gold. But yeah, really the goal is to start farming Arbiter as soon as possible so I can get the gloves. Do I even have anything to exalt? I guess this ring. Accuracy. Perfect. Where was I going? I got attack speed. We got some bonuses over here. I guess I start going over here. I can grab all of these, this wheel. We got an upgrade. Nice. An alchemy workbench. Alright, let's see. Yeah. Projectile speed, pierce, life recovery, damage with hits. Yeah, not bad, not bad. Did I pick up a... yeah. Alright, let's just slot it in. Stick it in. That's a good girl. Oh, fuck. Ooh. It just amazes me on controller. It kind of has auto aim, yet it somehow still shoots not at the enemy you stood right in front of. Were you... oh, God. Fuck you. Good lord. Explodes nearby corpses. The killer of many a hardcore character. We finally got a lovely day, a lovely spring day today, in sunny old Blighty. So I went for a lovely little walk in the forest. It was very warm. I went out in a coat expecting it to be, you know, a bit nippy. And was pleasantly surprised. It was, you know, 13 degrees, felt like 20.
Trust the vial to do whatever this is. Me pockets are full.
So yeah, it was a lovely day. But now I'm feeling, you know, when you've been out on your feet all day, going for a walk, I don't feel like tired, but I definitely feel like I've had a day.
One down. Who's next?
I don't think I need keep hold of all of this stuff. Continue to be, you know, very taken aback by the positive reception that my video has been getting. Now it's gotten, I guess, a little bit more traction. Starting to get a few people in who don't agree, but that's fine. The number of people who like the idea far outweighs the number of people that don't. Well, at least in the comments, right? I'm sure many normal people who just don't feel the need to comment. There's a certain type of person who feels the need to loudly proclaim that they don't like something.
Close and personal.
Hey, Zero CDN. Just saw DM's reaction on your video. You shared your my video to him via X. but you didn't put anything in the description, and you said at the beginning that I shared my video. Yeah, I did notice that. I thought that was funny. No big deal.
All in a day's work.
Yeah, he was like, this guy just sent me his video. It's all good. Thank you for sharing it with him. I really appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, I appreciate it, right? It was very nice of you to share it with him. And it was nice of him to watch it. And I watched the VOD today as well. And yeah, he didn't agree with all of my suggestions. And I think he made really good points, actually, to some of the things he disagreed with, which I'll take into account if I do a wrap-up. But I'm glad you enjoyed the video as well. Yeah, after he did the shout out in his stream, a bunch of people came by from his stream to, you know, tell me they enjoyed the video and drop me a few follows on Twitch. So that was really nice. I got all embarrassed and a little bit humbled. Alright, let's drop this, pick up the soldier cuirass, get a useless... Oh, it's a gem cutters. Ah, is it a level 2 room I'm in now? Yeah, level 2 gets gem cutters. Must remember that. Oh, and a stout crossbow. Alright, let's drop this. Accuracy rating, no good. Oh, did DM post his reaction as a YouTube video? Or are you just watching the VOD back?
Another notch on me helmet.
Where was I going? I was going over here to grab the Ellie damage wheel. Ah, you saw it on YouTube, right? Okay, I was wondering if he was gonna post the watch as a reaction himself. I guess I'll go check it out because I wanted to respond to his feedback, so I can go and comment myself.
I'm sure I won't regret this.
Crit chance, fire res, energy shield. I'll keep hold of that. Don't need to keep those. We'll grab the armor scraps instead. Yeah, I guess DM he doesn't multi-stream, right? He doesn't stream on YouTube, so that was the first place I went to look when I was looking for the VOD. And a jeweler's orb.
Gotta stay quick on my feet.
+6 fire spells staff. With crit spell chance and damage bonus. I mean, it's pretty low level, but maybe someone in global will want it.
No room.
Need to make space for this crossbow so I can slam a couple of orbs into it. I love slamming my orbs into stuff. And it's junk. And it's gone.
Weapons galore in here.
'T3 flat, T3 cold, no percent. Another chance orb. Alright, I think I'm gonna pop back to the vendor, make some gold.
What is it?
Hey,
Keep that. Actually, am I selling any of this stuff? Doesn't look like it. Oh, armor, strength, mana, fire res, cold res. Pretty good. I'll keep that belt in case I need to do a swap later.
until next time.
I can throw a bunch of this other stuff for scrapping. Keep hold of this. Throw that in there. Upgrade permafrost, I guess.
Guess they redecorated.
I'm gonna pick up some more gold. Oh, I'm already finding myself bored of picking up rares to sell, so I think I'm gonna stop doing that after this. I think gold income will be fine, right? If I'm doing temple. Zippercardo. If I cannot get one working design today, I will be in the foulest of moods. Hello, boys.
Easy.
I'm a bit nervous about switching to Incendiary shot too early. I guess if I've got the support gems and skill gems spare, then it's not a huge opportunity cost because I have my build that's somewhat working. Thankfully, even though my passive tree is not even spec'd into fizz damage anymore, HVR and frag rounds is just putting in the hard yards. PS5 or PS Pro, how's the performance? I actually does my PS5 and just play on Nvidia and GeForce Now. Yeah, I stopped playing on my PlayStation. Back the last time I played on PlayStation was, I don't think I even played 03 on PlayStation. And the performance wasn't great. I've heard it's got a lot better, right? In 0.4 they made a bunch of performance improvements. But I play with a PS5 controller on my PC. I'm gonna go try the Architect. Fuck it. But yeah, I've also played on Nvidia GeForce Now on my Steam Deck. And in fact, before I bought a new PC, I played on Steam Deck. Not Steam Deck, sorry, GeForce Now on my old PC. And that worked surprisingly well. It has its limitations, right? But
Consider the end. Axile's will is my goal, and soon will be yours.
there we go. Architect down. So yeah, I haven't played recent enough on PlayStation to know how good it is. Let's discard this medallion.
I'll hold this.
Oh, this is just a map modifier? Come on. They should not be able to give you map modifier as your first console. Just going to take a lineage gems. Should have read the medallion I was going to pick up. Alright, back to the maps.
What is it? Take our gold and go.
Bum, 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 bum. Fallen leaves on the ground.
For Doriani.
Steepage. Worst name for a map. It's just rituals in every map, eh? Yeah, I've been trying to work out why defenses feel unbalanced in PoE 2 versus PoE 1. I think I'm honing in on, I think it has a lot to do with movement. You really thought it was console. Can't wait for them to introduce seamless WASD and controller. I use an Xbox controller, got confused by the UI. I use it on one side. Right, yeah. I can't get used to having the UI on one side. I've tried it a couple of times, and I don't know, my eyes just, I don't know, even though it's more, you know, I have to look around the screen more to get all the information. I guess I'm just so used to seeing it on either side. But yeah, you're forced into the one of the console UIs. But yeah, I'm looking forward to Hot Swap 2. That would be really nice. I'm quite proficient with ooh, Omen of Corruption. Quite proficient with the controller, so I can do most of what I need to. But yeah, if I have to do like a big respec, or if I'm going to do a bunch of trading, then I have to relog and use mouse and keyboard. I just find controller is so much more comfortable, you know, when you're playing long sessions. If I play long sessions with mouse and keyboard, my hand just starts to hurt. Even though I bought myself like a much lighter gaming mouse. So when I played POE 1, yeah, I was having sometimes some hand pain from all the clicking. Control is just much more ergonomic. And I just like the way it feels, especially as I play mostly run and gun builds, so controller just feels right, you know, it's a twin stick shooter. That tunnel is showing, yeah. Lifetime of gaming, eh? Oh, I watched that coming and thought I was going to roll out of the way and then just didn't. Fuck. Lost my Omen of Corruption. Oh well. I was like, I know how to dodge this. I don't need to move yet. It turns out I did in fact not know how to dodge that. Rippity-doo-dah. The map's empty now, right? Yeah. Oh well. The fact that dying to the map boss still removes all of your rest of the you know, content in the map, that's still quite a baffling idea to me. I'm not sure what the benefit is for that.
It's like that campaign 5 years back. All in a day's work.
Y'all got any predictions for 0.5? What you're looking forward to? I'm hoping for some new bosses. Maybe a return of the Uber bosses. Maybe an Uber Zarok. The return of Uber Zarok would be cool. You know, a Zarok fight that you actually have to do. I quite like Zarok as a boss, actually. But maybe that's because I did him so much on evasion characters. And Sekimers with an evasion character is very easy. More weapons, yeah. Any weapon in particular? I think personally I'm most excited for daggers. I would love some dagger action. I think that's the weapon that excites me the most. Mostly because it's like, you know, basically ranged. And I like moving around fast. Swords and axes, you're a warrior and you feel forgotten. Yeah. While I was putting together my notes for my defenses video, I was looking at the split, and I think it's just strength in general, right? Has really poor representation in the game. We're only missing one Dex Int character, but then we're missing the second strength character, the second strength Int character, and the second Dex strength character. So yeah, I feel you. I think it's another reason that strength feels unbalanced defensive wise. It just doesn't have the tools, right? It doesn't have the passive tree love. It doesn't have the tools. Because when they add in axes, right, they'll have to do another passive tree update for that side of the tree. When they add in duelist, they'll have to do another passive tree update. So I think we'll get a lot more tools around that part of the tree, like the bottom left in particular. Templar will get some more tools in the top left. Ooh, first map abyss. Did you abyss me? I also gotta say, I'm looking forward to trying out Cyclone. I've never played a Cyclone build, so when they release it in POE 2, it'll be the first time, and I'm definitely making a Cyclone character. For sure. I'm thinking, I don't know, poison stacking Cyclone Pathfinder? That'd be cool, right? Wow, 3 Abyss Precursor tablets from 1 Abyss. Lucky me. I don't think I even found 3 Abyss Precursor tablets in Timmy League. You think strength should have stun resistance and knock resistance baked in even for sprint? Maybe not like the Pathfinder passive, but something that says I'm a beast and can't be stopped. Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's something like with the way that defenses are balanced in this game, and I think this is, this is starting to form the core of the argument I'm going to make in, why defenses feel unbalanced in PoE 2. Movement is such an important part. And when you play melee, you're stood in place, right? Every action you do stops you from moving. Unlike range, right? I can get into the face of bosses as a crossbow user, and it's better for me to get into their face. But I can strafe around them, and you can't really do that as melee. You just don't have the tools to deal with bosses. And I noticed that when I was leveling this character. I was using Ferocious Roar to generate rage. And it was really disconcerting, because every time I used the Roar, my character stopped. And so things that I would normally be like almost subconsciously dodging by the way that I move around the enemy, it just wasn't happening. I would just stop moving and I get hit by the boss or whatever. So yeah, I agree with you. I think Melee needs more tools for, like, you know, I think my other viewer protagonist has suggested hyper armor so that you have some additional damage resistance while you're attacking. Yeah, stun resistance I agree with as well. Getting light stunned is not a fun time in this game. And yeah, I think knockback is a good idea, but I'm not sure, because I think one of the other challenges we have with movement being a part, like a key part of defensive layers, is that one of the components of that defensive layer is slowing down enemy movement, but it doesn't really do anything against ranged enemies. So I think knockback is a good tool, but you still need a way to deal with ranged enemies, right? Maybe I 3-to-1 some tier 2 maps. I think I'm going to head up to tier 3 now.
Have you found more of what for Doriani?
Fingers crossed it's a good mod.
Have you found more of what?
Oh yeah, I leveled up. See what the vendor's got for me. That's fine. What have you got here? Any good ring? Not really.
Find more breach remnants.
See what Zelina's got. $49 spirit chest. Meh. Nothing really. I'm to fight Arbiter. I'm taking bets on my death count against this POE piece of shit boss design. Yeah, and I think, you know, I've heard the argument that we should have movement skills built into PoE 2, like in PoE 1. I mean, we do have a movement skill, right? It's called dodge roll.
Easy.
Now, it's not faster than running, but it is initially faster than running if you need to travel a distance shorter than the distance that you would run. And I think it's, you know, once they figure out balance, I think it's easier for them to balance around a single movement ability than many. But you could have like strength-based skills that transform dodge roll into something else. Rolling slam that is empowered by a cry and ancestrally boosted, getting light stunned mid-animation and putting it all on cooldown, and wasting the cry made me leave for like 2 weeks. Yeah, I think I got stunned out of Ferocious Roar a bunch as well. Hey Dozer Label, welcome in. Hi mate, I saw your latest video and I've tuned into the last couple of VODs as you've been leveling this character. I've enjoyed your discussions around game mechanics. Oh, thanks very much, I appreciate it. I'm glad you enjoyed the video, and where do I stand on the Zoom versus meaningful debate? Yeah, I am a vision player. I believe in the vision. I think that the majority of the game that I would enjoy involves, like, you know, this kind of combat. If they can find a way that I can choose to do this, you know, by scaling mobs up as we level in power, where I have to engage with each pack somewhat, right? I just have to be aware of my movement. I have to crowd control. I have to use active abilities. I can move like reasonably quickly, right? But I'm not blowing up the entire screen. That to me is what meaningful combat is. Like this is meaningful, right? It's not super slow, but it's not blow up the whole screen. I really enjoy this kind of gameplay. That isn't to say that I don't enjoy every now and again brain off second screening the game and blowing up everything, you know? But I think that kind of power level is like right at the end of progression, not the default. And the game is fundamentally designed around combat being more like this, right? Now, if I was a melee character, if I was using a mace in this kind of situation, then I think I would be on the, you know, on the struggle bus. But that, I think that's more melee versus ranged, you know, and the challenges they have there with balance. Where do you stand on the Zoom versus meaningful debate?
Day's work.
I would also prefer like endgame bosses. Like I like the design philosophy of, let's say, Architect or Zesht. I think Architect and Zesht are really well designed bosses. You know, they have two phases. If you go in with like moderate DPS, then like, you know, moving your way through like a Zesht or an Architect fight just really fun gameplay to me. Like learning the fight, learning how to deal with the combinations of abilities. I think Arbiter goes too far the other direction at the moment, where, you know, you're kind of not interacting with the boss while he's doing his one-shot mechanics, and they're a bit too punishing, and there's combos that are just absolutely ass to deal with, and sometimes you can't deal with. You think you're with me, although you can't deny that when you get into a Zoom stage, it feels great. It's also hard when you see the builds at Zoom and you can't help but compare. Yeah. Oh yeah, there's been loads of times where I'm like cackling like an idiot when I've got Herald chains going. Like, yeah, there's no denying that feels good, but I get very bored with it. I find I lose interest really quickly, and then maybe the answer is, right, you get to that stage, you roll a new build, but the stage comes too soon, Executus, too soon. The melee light stuns are a huge issue. Yeah, they are. Yeah, I think melee gameplay at the moment has too much expectation that you can predict what your enemies are going to do, because it's very difficult to react to them, because it's not just if you get stunned, right? If you have to move, that also means your abilities go on cooldown, right? If you're forced to roll out of the way of something, then you're fucked. You've messed up your cooldowns. So I think people confuse like the issue with, you know, they see it as an issue with armor, but I think it's an issue with movement. Easy monkey. Yeah, I mean, I wonder when we get swords and daggers if we'll get, you know, melee characters that can move while fighting. I mean, though, I mean, monk. I guess monk isn't really melee, right? It's melee plus ranged, spells plus melee. Monk is like melee in the loosest sense of the term, but it still has um the locking, right? When you attack with a monk skill,
Yes,
you can't attack with a monk while moving, right?
so it is.
You don't think they should change the philosophy around melee skills, forcing you to stand in place because you think it makes combat feel amazing? In some ways, yeah.
We need to collect.
So you think it's just a case of balancing, you know, how the punishment, the cooldown punishment?
Collect more.
Do you think that one change would make melee feel good enough? If it's definitely got lock-in on monk. Yeah, it's been ages since I played a quarterstaff build. I guess we should say quarterstaff, right? The last monk build I played was a crossbow build, of course. This needs to be a T4, right? Tier 3. Oh, it is tier 3. Okay. So I just need to alchemy. Oh no, Regal X is probably better at this stage of progression. Oh, extra chaos damage. Ruh-roh. Should be alright. It's only a ravine. I'm not a huge fan of this playlist. I'm going to change it. Balancing the punishment would go a long way, and also removing the forced attack time at the start. Yeah, I mean, that's a mace thing, isn't it? Yeah.
Creepy mirrors me yourself. Is that really what I look like in all this gear? Don't scare me with this. I've spent my whole life in here.
I'll be honest, I've not played maces. They've never really interested me as a melee skill, but swords, daggers, axes, I think I will give a go. I played werewolf at the start of Last of the Druids, and that was a learning experience. I pounced to my death many times. So learning how to navigate around with pounce without it killing me was that was fun to learn. I thought that felt really good. I think spear gameplay is really cool as well. I played a bleed spear pathfinder in 0. Is that 0.2? When we got spears, it was, right? Ah, I've found the trick to this boss. You just have to hide behind some pillars. And I saw someone posted a parry build on Path of Exile builds, on the Path of Exile 2 build subreddit a couple of days ago. It looked really cool. They were playing on console, actually. It looked so much fun. They were like, you know, disengaging, charging in, getting frenzy charges, and then using them on explosive spear. The gameplay looked incredible. Now that was also, I thought, was like vision gameplay. And then there was like some comments on the subreddit that they, you know, the clear was dog shit. and you looked at it, and he was clearing like much faster than I am now in Ravine. It's like people's brains are broken by Comet. And I have no interest in playing a Comet style build. You love the feeling of mace skills in this game, really satisfying, but yeah, it's a different game to ranged. I also think they should remove power from weapons and put it back into the tree. Yeah. I think there should be more interesting choices to be made with weapon crafting. It's you know, crafting a good weapon is it's pretty straightforward. You know, you can, with the current power level of enemies, you can craft for any class really, right? A weapon pretty easily that will take you through the entire end game. Just need like a couple of omens and an essence, and you're good to go. Like crystallization omens. Yeah, I think they have a tough road ahead with balance, right? A really tough road ahead. I do not envy them. I don't think I'm gonna make a video talking about defensive balance, because I think we can make, you know, we can make assumptions about the direction of the game, right? The video will be based around the assumption that damage output will be balanced in a way that the best defensive option isn't always, you know, kill everything before it can attack you. Ooh, my tink. The warrior tree is a joke, like attack speed, punish nodes. Why? If you don't go hybrid defenses, you are still cooked. Right, it's either you go hybrid. So like on my Warbringer, I was armor with Gore Girdle. Armor applies to ele damage. And then I was wearing a ES helm and had ES bonuses on my neck. And that got Warbringer feeling pretty good. And then I was relying pretty heavily on the damage taken from totems for like T3 Simulacrum. But then I guess you can like mega stack armor, right, and become almost invulnerable to most damage types, which is pretty cool, right? Carnarius did that. There's like brass dome shenanigans. You saw the post on the parry build. You've been a parry enjoyer since 0.2 when you played it there. Wow, you played it back when it wasn't good, eh? Proper OG. But the punishment is still too much for the payoff, right? And I think he said, right, in his write-up, there's a bunch of like bosses where there's no parryable abilities. So you just kind of stood there like scratching your balls, waiting for them to like do something. Oh yeah, get against the wall, big boy. Yeah, it took me a while to get Warbringer feeling good with crossbows. That was definitely a really big challenge. I played it in hardcore I lost like a bunch of Warbringers trying to make it work in hardcore at the end of 0.3. And I couldn't get it working at the time. And I think the reason it worked in softcore for me in the end was because I happened to find like an amulet that had the ES bonuses. And I was like, oh, what if I just put on an ES helm? And that'll give me enough HP pool. And then there we were. Hybrid Life ES on a Warbringer. With 2 items. That was all I needed. 2 items.
Acceptable.
Because item power is out of control. The Colossus is 1 and Zesh can be annoying. It's much better than in 0.2. You've played a parry build every league and probably continue to do so. Ah, so parry is to you what crossbows are to me, eh?
Otherworldly vengeance. What is it?
These are pretty good gloves. I'll keep hold of these. Is this any good? Not really.
Who sent you? Valgold is...
Another level up, another check of vendors.
So it is. What is it?
Seeing more.
T4 fire damage, eh?
It is yours.
Yeah, T4 is probably not good enough, actually. Not to waste any crafting stuff on at this point.
Good fortune.
Oh, you know what this playlist has inspired me to listen to? This whole album. Okay, let's keep heading over to essences. We like essences. What do I care about? Probably getting some essence of battles and hastes for now. What are we looking for? Immured Fury, +1 level. No Furies. I'm just going to head over to this zone then.
With all the gods dead, I suppose I should turn my attention to you. Stop them in their tracks! See how far you can push.
Yeah, I would. I'm looking forward to trying out some new stuff next league, some non-crossbow stuff. But I'm hoping there's things that feel like they're big enough challenges to inspire me to learn other parts of the game. Putting together this defensive video as well is going to teach me so much. It's already teaching me a lot about what's available in each part of the tree. So if they keep leaning into the monster effectiveness route, because I think monster effectiveness was a pretty good step forward towards, you know, the vision. So if we get like an Atlas tree, like Mark said in the live stream before 0.4, that he was thinking about an Atlas tree that kind of lets you choose the style of mapping you want to do. Like, do you want hordes of monsters that you need to mow down? Or do you want, you know, smaller, tougher packs, right? Higher monster effectiveness, but less monsters. So we can do that. And then, you know, you still get the Zoom players can have their fill if they want it. It's been fun learning all the archetypes, so yeah, go outside my comfort zone. Yeah, I'm looking forward to doing that. I do just really love crossbow gameplay. But yeah, I've played spears, I played concoctions. I played quarterstaff in 0.1. But yeah, I've not done any build crafting. I tried to make a storm chaser shaman work with whispering ice this league. It didn't really pan out, so I didn't share it. It was fine, you know, it cleared T15s just fine, but it wasn't going to blow anyone's socks off. I thought maybe I could do some interesting stuff with like Whispering Ice and Thunderstorm and Snap. But Snap is just not in a good place, is it? When it goes off, it was awesome, but you know, getting it to go off was a little bit too much hard work. Yeah, but I would like a reason to really understand defensive layers, because I think at the moment it's so easy to get enough power level that you just blow everything up. Like even this, right? Like my defenses aren't great, but Permafrost does a lot of the heavy lifting, which I guess is a viable strategy. Crowd control instead of tank. What do I consider a build that's worth sharing? I think I would have to be confident that someone could follow the build guide and do all content. Maybe without requiring like a really high mechanical skill level. Or if the build is just really fun, you know, if it just does a lot of things that are fun. Like I really like my Pathfinder builds because, you know, they are very zoom, right? And they kill bosses very quickly. So I think when it's like very powerful, that's worth sharing. And I think if it's a lot of fun, it's worth sharing. If I have to sweat my way through a 30-minute T3 simulacrum, then I guess I have to say that the build is maybe not worth sharing. That's more like, look at me doing T3 simulacrum with this not great build, which is my Warbringer. It killed bosses very easily, but I was sweating during simulacrum. Trying to keep up my totems so that I didn't die. I was going to turn the Warbringer into a different kind of video though, in a lesson in, you know, buildcraft and like solving problems. I saved like 10 different POBs for all of the different problems I had to solve with the build. I started writing the script, but then I just wasn't really very happy with it. So I think I'm going to save that for my bigger 0.5 project, which will be a website that provides an intermediate learning path in Path of Exile 2. So it's not going to be beginner focused. It's going to be the, you know, I can kind of tweak builds a little bit that I follow, and I'd like to know how I can learn more about the game, how I can work my way towards contributing knowledge of to the game. So I think I'll save the video for that website and that guide on how to create builds. I think my defenses video research will play a big part into some of the content for that website as well, right? Understanding how you layer defenses, what's available to each archetype, solving things with ascendancies and uniques. Yeah, the Warbringer had a lot of interesting problems to solve. And I think there's a gap in, you know, third-party PoE content aimed at that's aimed at the intermediate level. The people that are engaged with the game but don't really know what to do to get better at it, and who want to. Maybe it's not a huge segment of the player base, but I'm gonna make it anyway as a fun project. I'll make it in WordPress, you know, just a knowledge management system. Because I think the database websites require quite an expert level of knowledge to use effectively. You have to know what you're looking for in order to be able to use a database, PoE database website, whether it's the wiki or PoE2DB. So yeah, I think there's a structured learning path through the tiers of knowledge in PoE. So the launch of the website will coincide with a video I'm working on called Tiers of Knowledge. TIERS, not boohoo. So we can make one of those lists that everybody really loves. Oh, I haven't done all the rituals. Where's the last ritual? Oh, it looks like it's over here. You know, where are you in the PoE2 learning path? And I think if I start the project now, because I would say in 0.4, I don't think the game is quite complex enough that the website will have a huge amount in it, or would need to have a huge amount. But I think we're going to get to a complexity point where GGG themselves won't be able to keep up with keeping the player base up to date with the knowledge required to engage with the game fully. And I think that the middle between beginner and expert, will grow, right? In the same way it has in PoE 1. You can play PoE 1, you can follow a build guide, and you can have a great time, right? You can do all your challenges, you can do the bosses. But then, like, the jump to, like, making your own build is just enormous, right? That gap in the middle is huge. And I don't think that gap is quite as big in PoE 2 at the moment. And I think they've done a good job of, like, you know, communicating some key ideas. But it's going to grow. The more leagues they add, it's going to grow. So yeah, I think starting the project in 0.5 and keeping it updated is going to be... that's going to be the time, right? And then maybe in 0.6 or release, it'll get a bit more use. It'll be more valuable over time. Every league, I'll make sure everything is up to date. Because if you go to the websites now, a lot of the stuff that's been created has not been kept up to date, right? A lot of it's out of date. Mobalytics, Max Roll, all of the guides on there, they don't keep them up to date. You consider yourself in that bracket. You think it sounds quite valuable. You've learned to use PoE, DB, and other resources, but it's required a time investment, right? And did you find that initial journey to be quite, you know, challenging? Like finding out what you had to learn, because you don't know what you don't know, right? Oh, what have we got here? Crossbow, melee damage. By the Greater Exaltation, that's great for the SSF. I just keep deferring these and buy some splinters. Cool, 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 cool. I mean, I think I may be at the like, you know, I think I consider myself still in the intermediate, right? I think like top tier experts are people like Jung Roan, Aste, X the Farmer, right? If you're looking at it from a crafting perspective. I know very little about crafting. I don't have really broad build like creation knowledge.
That gold is worth more.
I have a pretty narrow build creation.
What is it?
You know, knowledge resource, which is, you know, I need to grow myself. You also hate the POB being something outside of the game, but it's too complex. Understand it's maybe too complex to have a menu for it. Oh yeah, I'd wait until I'd taken 5 to 6 builds to 90 plus, which forced me to research and problem solve that to have a menu for it. Problem solve that you got out of the know. We need something like in-game training ground where you control the environment and test a character there. Yeah. And even POB isn't a perfect tool, right? Like, like I am not looking forward to how this character is going to feel to play. We need something, so like, you know, I put together this sort of basic pathing for the Frostfire build and then found all of the scaling mechanisms that I wanted to use. You know, and tried to bring in the skills, but then like some of the scaling mechanisms don't exist in POB. So I had to make a fake jewel in order to scale them. And I'm still missing some of the scaling. So Molten's One's gift currently isn't active. So in order to, you know, configure that, I'd need to add shock effect. So like even learning to use POB is in itself like, you know, quite a daunting prospect for a lot of people. Local Identity and his team are just, you know, they're just a few people, aren't they? The innovation that Mathel brings to this game is amazing too. I love those kinds of creators that find interesting interactions. Yeah, Mathel is a great creator, right? He really demonstrates that broad knowledge. I'm gonna go get some Varl orbs. I'll start varling some essences. They're probably gonna smash me to bits, but oh well. The difference in POB 2 compared to 1 is massive, yeah. Even stuff like, you know, the timeless dual calculator. Just things like that, right? I mean, it'll come over time. I was considering learning how to contribute to POB. But I don't know if I have the time for another side project. Yeah, but there's a bunch of stuff that, you know, specifically I want when I'm doing calculations. One of the good things about PoE 2 being as easy as it currently is, I think, is that you can work out a build without POB, right? You can... Oh, what the fuck? What killed me? Yeah, you can, like... You can go by feel, and you can end up with a decent build if you go by feel. I've definitely done some builds where, you know, I threw some things together that looked like they would work. Definitely not complaining. It's an amazing asset, and as I say, only a few people doing it. Oh yeah, no, I didn't think you were complaining. No worries. Neither was I, right? I'm very grateful that they do the project at all. Local identity is a G. But yeah, I think it was my permafrost invoker, and I had some like interactions that I just assumed worked, and I have since found out that they didn't work. But the build still functioned perfectly fine, right? Because there's a lot of leniency currently built into the game. The what the fuck killed me thing, yeah. You basically have to have a stream running, right? So you can make a clip. Yeah, and I think that comes back to the defenses question, right? When you're building your defensive layers, whether they are active or passive, you need to understand what it is you're trying to problem solve, right? If you're dying. And so I think it's, oh, the turtle does a slam. He does a slam. Like, yeah, Guild Wars 2 has a nice in-game training ground. Special Forces training area. Look it up. It's quite nice. And I think something like that can really help people make their own builds. Yeah, it's a good idea. They've said, the devs have said they're not really into the idea, right? Or they like open to it, but don't know how they would implement it. Is that what they said last time it was brought up? Oh, what did he drop? Oh, it's just a revered resin. But yeah, when you're doing bosses, right, it's quite easy to, you know, you can be like, oh, I messed up the mechanic, right? That's what killed me. But when you're mapping, it would be good to know what the biggest source of incoming damage was. That kind of thing would help new players understand, you know, where their holes in their defenses are. Hey, protagonist. How you doing today? And I think, you know, changing the armor tooltip to show max hit would also do a lot instead of fizz damage reduction. Estimated physical damage reduction, yeah. We think we've consulted the oracle and looked into our crystal ball, and we think that maybe sometimes you will reduce physical damage by up to 90. 90 numbers. Maybe if you're lucky. You think the game would be better off if that bit were removed entirely, right? So players didn't think they had 90% resistances, yeah. Yeah, there's been a lot of posts on Reddit, right? Why am I dying? And then they're showing the 90% tooltip. Unironically, yes. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't help, right? And at best it doesn't help. At worst it hurts. I feel like GGG don't like that stuff, like they're keeping it vague. My issue with this though is that there's such a huge penalty for death and that you can't really experiment to figure things out in the game. Yeah. It definitely feels that way, right? To a lot of people. It's kind of a multiplier with a lack of knowledge. You know, if someone has a low level of knowledge, it also probably means they're struggling to make progression in the game. So like, you know, people who are very engaged with the game, like us, I can struggle with a build. I can die a bunch, right? I can try things out. I don't really care because I know that I can continue making progress. But for a player that, you know, doesn't have enough knowledge to make up for all of those deaths, yeah, it's just a terrible experience. You're doing well. How's the brand new never played before build? I haven't made the switch yet, protagonist. I'm just gathering gear, you know, to make the switch. I probably should have tried to make this build in a league where I had a bunch of currency and I could just try it straight away. You saw the permafrost, so I just I know what you meant. I know what you meant. I know. Yeah, I've started making the switch, you know. I'm edging my way into permafrost and incendiary shot. But I need greater jeweler's orbs. I need some GCPs. I need a better weapon because it does not. I think I can get POB to say that my ignite will do 200k DPS with everything rolled really well. But I'm hoping POB is just wrong. I'm coping that POB is just wrong. But yeah, I got bored of waiting for things to die to flashbang. So I switched to permafrost frag rounds while I grind up some gear.
Acceptable. Find more breach remnants for my research.
Bloody horrors! That's one down.
But yeah, I don't think I agree with GGG's philosophy to keep a bunch of information from players. I think you should give them the tools to learn the game. Like, what do they think? Like, people are gonna solve it too quickly if they give them more tools? I don't think so. I think you're more likely to lose players, right? When it's opaque. But we figured this game out. Just do stupid damage. Offense is the best defense. You just one-shot everything so you don't need worry about mechanics and shit. Zooming is the way then. Yeah, and I mean, I hope the game doesn't end up like that. I hope that fill out spreadsheet, get loot is not the game mechanic in the long term. If they can figure out how to balance it so that it's not like that, then, you know, I'm going to be super happy. You know, getting to maps for brand new players can be a rude awakening. Maybe it's interludes. I don't know. Yeah, the switch to maps is difficult. Now we get into the age-old debate of whether you balance for the top 1% or the rest. Yeah. And I mean, not even balancing for the top 1%, right? It's like, can you even balance for the top 1%? But yeah, I mean, you're right? If you balance for creators, then you end up in a situation where people are kind of pigeonholed into those creators' builds. You know, the less experienced players. I also don't know why they repeated having players' resistances lowered through progression. Doesn't make sense. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I'm not sure on that one. I can kind of see the reasoning behind that one. But I think you've made this point before, and I think you make a valid point, right? There are alternative ways to do it, which could work better. If they balance for the 1%, it's just plain bad. They should just only focus on SSF players. Yeah. I don't know much about Last Epoch, but the SSF mode that they have in that, right, where it's actually a completely different mode, it sounds pretty fun. Where you can't transfer to Trade League. I couldn't agree more, but the most vocal parts of the community are often the best players, so you have competing interests. Yeah, I know. I think, you know, I tuned into a little bit of DM stream before I started streaming, and he was watching a react of a, he was reacting to a react, which is like, you know, come on, man. But I think he was reacting to Gazzy reacting to Talkative Try. And I think Gazzy made the point that the sentiment, you know, the top creator sentiment of like, no, just give us POE 1 is starting to die back a bit. I think we are getting more diverse voices who want the vision. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. Balancing, like, yeah, balancing the damage stuff in the game is definitely not something I've put enough thought into to have like a take that I'd be happy to stand behind. Because like, what if, you know, you can do cast on crit comet, but it requires, you know, something of temporalis level of rarity. Does that make the game better? Like if only builds that can get a temporalis can play a build like cast on crit comet, does that make the game better? Yeah, I mean, but let's, you know, I also agree. I agree with you. I don't like the cast on stuff. But let's say, like, you know, that level of power of, you know, basically auto bombing an entire map. Does it make the game better? Because I don't know if it does. Because I think we already have this sentiment that we get from the community of falling behind. And I think that would just make that sentiment worse, perhaps. Because then they'll still see the cast on crit comet gameplay, right? And be like, why can't I do that? You know? Oh, you know, because I didn't spend 100 hours at League Start grinding. I can't do that build now. This game is bad. So, yeah.
Take our gold and go.
So that comes back to the, you know, do you balance around the 1%? And yeah, I don't think you can, right? GGG were victims of their own success. If the launch wasn't so good, the vision would not be discussed right now, I guess. Yeah. And how many of the, what, 250,000 players are on Reddit? Or even watch streams? Like, what's the total viewership of Twitch streamers in PoE 2 at League Start? What is it, like 30k, maybe? It's weird stepping away from the game economy for a second. I think the cast on stuff can be a vehicle of fun for players, but when you have competing economic interests getting introduced, then it becomes a bit problematic that players can shatter screens in 1/10 of a second, whereas normal players take 30 seconds to do so. Yeah, it breaks people's brains, huh? I mean, the kind of, yeah, I don't know. I guess when we're talking about this, right, we create these hypothetical newer players. But yeah, I mean, I guess how much of the player base are the you know, beginner players complaining on Reddit that they can't blow up the screen? Like, you know, like I mentioned earlier, the guy that posted his parry build, like the clear was absolutely fine, and the bossing looked a lot of fun. The build looked really, really fun to play, and people were commenting that the clear sucked because it wasn't, you know, it wasn't top tier. When I posted my permafrost invoker, you know, I thought I was going pretty fast through maps. I was blowing up, you know, half a screen at a time. And someone was like, yeah, it's a cool build, but it's slow. And again, I guess a lot of that comes from, you know, follow a creator's build, go and buy the items, and you get to do that too. And that is a part of the game. I just don't know how much of the game it is in terms of player base. And it is, you know, do you think this is information that we can find out? This is information that GGG has, right? I guess we have PoE Ninja. Which kind of gives a meta snapshot. Yeah, it's interesting. My gut says you should be able to get really rare items that break the game. I feel like you have to have a point where you just have to say, sorry mate, you won't get that. I agree with you. Yeah. I think giving players access to everything is like, you know, the modern World of Warcraft effect. It's the looking for raid, right? But maybe I'm just an elitist jerk. Anyone get that reference? So many people play this game from a divs per hour perspective. Yeah, I know. Like all the build guides I put out in 0.3, I felt like I had to put the rarity, you know? Like part of me makes videos because I want this game for me to have a creative outlet so that I don't feel like I'm just playing it for no reason. Like that's just for me, right? I need to know that I have some creative outlet in combination with spending a lot of time, you know, playing the game. And yeah, I had to put, you know, I just felt like if I wanted any kind of engagement with my ideas, my build ideas, I had to put, you know, blows up screens, has 150% rarity. I don't feel like you've had to do that as much this league though, which is good. But I still think people are expecting blows up screens. a lot of the time. Not that I particularly want currency players to be a big part of my community, because that's just not the way I play the game. I'm fine with not having mirror tier items. People, Reed knows my take pretty well, but I get burned out when a single player progression kind of gets derailed from needing to interact with a larger economy, or time progression gated by RNG mostly. Yeah. Yeah, the low friction access to any item you want kind of has, I don't know, I think it's another one of those multiplier effects. For what it's worth, I appreciated your build videos and would have without Rarity. There's definitely a huge part of community that likes that. Oh, thanks very much. I appreciate that. It was, yeah, it was tough. I know there's plenty of people that also don't care, but I think if I want to, just grow, like, the chances, if I don't do the thing that everyone is doing, when I post the video, the chances of it still getting in front of you are quite low, right? Even if you are of the same mind as me. I think that's one of the issues with, like, trying to create stuff on YouTube, or in, like, in the content world that we live in. You kind of have to play the game a little bit, eh? I don't need a massive audience, but a nice little community like this, right, where we can just have a chat about the game, I really enjoy. That's all I wanted. That's all I wanted. So I appreciate you guys hanging out and chatting with me. Yeah, that's why SSF is the only balance option. Trade League should be a side thought, and the div per hour mentality make you go zoom zoom because of FOMO. Yeah. I think the only FOMO I feel is making good progress at league start.
Have you found?
I play a lot at league start. You'd like to agree, but GGG got to eat somehow, and I don't know how much trade facilitates that. I'd say a lot, I'd say a lot. Because it's not just how big is the player base, right? It's how big is the player base that will also buy points and supporter packs. It's the only monetization the game has, right? And you don't need to buy stash tabs if you're not mapping. I'm going to go do the temple. I think the economy in this game is really unique and can be very fun, but it produces a weird capitalist anti-community that are really toxic. Oh, I can sacrifice another room. Oh. I can get a level 3 arsenal or a level 2 armory. Oh, I can get a the sacrificial chamber. Is that's yeah, cultivation orb, right? What is increasing this? Workshop. Do I have any other workshops? No. Okay, I'm not going to go for leveling up smithies at the moment. I'm just going to go for finding gear. And maybe doing another architect run. And then I might just sacrifice this workshop. There's a part of the trade economy that that makes me look at items in a way that doesn't always make me feel like I'm enjoying the game, because it makes me look at things in terms of what are they worth to someone else, and to some extent it can be satisfying, right? Developing that understanding, putting the things in your shop, working towards like a being able to afford like a cool unique, or in my case like crafting materials to make the rares that I need for my specific build. But then also, you know, it's I don't like always looking at things from like how much exalt or div are they worth. Anyway, it's been a pleasure to chat with you all. Have a good rest of your day. You too, Dozable. Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate it. It has been a pleasure indeed. As a counterpoint, that can also end up as a source of discovery or inspiration for trying a new build. What do you? Which point are you saying? What is a source of discovery? Sorry. Looking at items for how much they're worth, or like, oh, figuring out items valuable to another player, right? Yeah. Yeah, it's really hard to do that if you haven't played the build, right? Like, it's interesting, you know, unless you're like a proper like market analyst, you know, you treat the game like it's a market, where you're like studying like what's on trade, you know, where the gaps are. But yeah, I agree, right? You kind of have to play a build to really understand what's good, what would be desirable. So like when I'm doing crafting for my crossbow builds, like I know that I can make back a bunch of cash from the crossbows that I make if they haven't turned out quite right, because I know what other people are looking for. But yeah, I do end up I sell a lot of like blue crafting bases, you know. I guess that's become more common knowledge now with the videos people have put out on negative rarity farming. Do I want any of this? But yeah, I mean, I think regardless of what happens in 0.5, the game has gotten better every patch. I don't agree with people that 0.2 was a step backwards. I think 0.2 just didn't change or add enough. But maybe I'm remembering with rose-tinted glasses. I still played it a bunch. I was so confused by people's reception to 0.2, right? Like the various crash outs. The issue with the market in a game like this is there's not enough time to stabilize the prices between leagues and it's too volatile. Yeah, the game got better and better for sure. Yeah, right? So I'm just gonna trust, you know, I have no doubt that 0.5 is gonna be a fun league. Oh, I just realized I can just be taking these exalts. I don't know why I'm using them. I thought I was still in leveling. Being a crossbow player, you were a bit insulated by some of the problems people started experiencing with the rebalancing of 0.2. Yeah, I wasn't even a crossbow player back then. I had given up on crossbows after some bad experiences in 0.1. I think I ended up playing crossbows in HCSSF maybe at the end of 0.2. I think I played crossbow Deadeye, HCSSF, by the way. But yeah, I played like spears. I played bleed spear. Played concoction, which was incredible. I loved concoction. Poisonous concoction. Oh man, you should see I'm getting a bit carried away with my prep for the defenses video, and I've just started drawing, like, laying in bed trying to get to sleep, drawing diagrams of fucking passive trees, like enemy locations and how that interacts with defensive strategies. I keep trying to like read my book before bed, and then my brain's like, oh, what about if you describe this in your video? I think it's, you know, it's going to take me at least another week and a half, I think, to finish this video. Read more book before bed. Exactly. Exactly. Reading The Moonstone at the moment by Wilkie Collins. But yeah, it's been tough. You know, the ideas, they keep flowing. I'm gonna create like an animation of the Atlas tree and like what defensive layering is available in each section of the Atlas tree, and maybe see if we can see some gaps there. I've got diagrams of like breach and abyss and how mobs spawn and how that interacts with your decisions on how you lay your defenses, or whether or not your defensive strategy is a good one, right? With the way that mobs spawn in breach, mobs spawn in expedition, in abyss. But it's all under the assumption that we're going to get balance where you actually have to engage with enemies like I am here. I really hope we get like a league mechanic that gives us big chunky mobs to deal with, or small powerful groups. That's my biggest wish for 0.5, I think. Like, what would be... I'm trying to think what else is left, because they've said while we're in early access, right, they're only adding leagues that already exist in PoE 1. So what would be... What options do we have? We've got Incursion. I mean, there's so many options, right? We've had Tormented Spirits. POE 1 leagues. What have we got? Crazy idea. Make the top 100 player bills be a pool of rogue exiles that can be tiered by map tier. Make it possible we can get the drops from them. Yeah. That sounds like Hall of Grandmasters. But across the entire atlas. It's an interesting idea, Zarek. Alright, what do we got? What do we got? And pussy. Mercenaries? No, we're not going to get mercenaries. I doubt we're getting Necropolis, right? Though I never played it, but it wasn't very well received. We're not getting Calandra. Everyone hated Calandra. We've already got Expedition. We've already got Ultimatum, Ritual. I think it would be a mistake to add Heist. We might get Harvest. We might get Metamorph. Might get Blight. Legion is a possibility. We already have Beyond, right? And Corrupted Zones. Or was Betrayal? Oh, Immortal Syndicate. Yeah. I mean, of those, like, I guess, yeah, Betrayal, they could do the small, powerful monsters thing, right? Yeah, Betrayal would be cool. Einar would be cool. We're not... They can't do Delve. Unless they're getting rid of the Infinite Atlas, they can't do Delve in 0.5. If Harbinger, I would not be happy with. That's just another swarm mechanic, right? Legion is kind of interesting, but has like... I don't know if it fits very well with PoE 2 at the moment. You think Betrayal is the worst League mechanic they've ever designed? But a reimagined Betrayal, right? I think, you know, if we had a Betrayal where the interactions with the Betrayal members weren't fart on them and then make a decision, I think that would be cool, right? What if the Betrayal encounters were like hard, you know, and interesting? If you have to send people to a conspiracy board and not get any info about what that means, I will actually rage. Yeah, I don't doubt it, protagonist. I don't doubt it. Yeah. Yeah, I think maybe adding Betrayal, the League after Temple, might also be a mistake. So it has to be beasts, right? It has to be Einhar. No other choice. They're either adding I don't want them to add another swarm. I mean, this is what I want, right? I don't want them to add another swarm mechanic. Trial of the Ancestors League, but that's just another ascendancy, right?
How can I help?
Oh, actually, that was quite a good chest, wasn't it?
Good luck.
Should put some of these in my shop at a low price just to help out other people. So strong, you have to banish it back to the island.
Guess they redecorated.
Foul fool!
Where are my greater jeweler's orbs at? I haven't found any, apart from the guaranteed one.
All in a day's work.
And I'm level 74.
This'll stop 'em.
That can't be right. Come on.
No consequence.
Uh-oh, monkey.
No consequence.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, I saw that coming. I was stuck in the bubble. Temp bubble plus monkey. This is going to be a fun fight, isn't it? What? Oh, I can lure the monkey out, right? Can I? No, I can get attacked, but I can't attack them. What the hell? Hello, does somebody know if it's with which sorceress is it possible to have a Chaos Incinerate oil grenade? Yes. I think that sounds like it would work, right? Either with Black Flame Covenant. Well, Incinerate is a spell, right? So Incinerate would work with Black Flame, right? Right, but Oil Nade isn't the thing doing the fire damage or the ignite. Oil Nade just does burning ground and exposure. Incinerate is the source of the actual ignite, so you should be able to do chaos. But yeah, there's a Black Flame ring, which turns ignite to chaos damage. Oh my god! All right, let's. Oh, I can't get in. Oh, for fuck's sake!
What a pity.
I'll try purple ground flame. Yeah, I don't know if. Yeah, I don't think burning ground will go chaos though. I think protagonist might be right that the burning ground won't be chaos. Only the ignite on the enemy will be chaos damage. I don't know though. This might not be that helpful, but you know who might know the answer to that whenever he's next online? Would be Garatha. Because he did purple flame stuff. Captain Lance also did purple flame stuff. Oh, for fuck. This monkey! I can't go. I can't. I can't hug the butt because of the temp bubble. Ah!
No consequence.
I'm getting temp bubbled the moment I walk in as well. Oh, is this even possible?
Square. Precise and deadly.
Oh, fuck off, you're ranged. Oh my god, okay. Locking in. No, I'm dead.
What a pity.
Should I just leave this room alone? No, I can do this. I can do it. I can do it. I can do it. I can do monkey plus temp bubble. I'm getting frozen as well. It's got extra cold damage. Okay, maybe I can't do this. I've got to kill the Thaumaturge first. All damage chills and temp bubble.
Furious energies.
No! Ah.
Square.
God.
What a pity.
Okay, freezing them didn't really do very much because I'm not doing that much damage. All right, we go again. Wait, there's another monkey? Or was he healed? I'm shocked. I'm chilled. It's ridiculous. Stop it. Okay, all right. All right, lock in, lock in. It's just a guy with a temporal bubble waiting by the door.
Furious energies.
And I'm dead.
What a pity.
What's the solution, guys? What's the solution?
No consequence. No consequence.
Now I'm trapped in the corner.
Inferno.
Oh, trapped again. Oh, ugh. And I was frozen.
What a
You
pity.
can't make this shit up, right? Absolutely ridiculous. All right, we're making progress. We're making progress. I'll just keep throwing my corpse at them.
Solar rage.
Oh, no, we're in the tent bubble. Okay, we dodge, we dodge, we dodge. Now this is a challenge boss.
Inferno.
Alright, monkey is stunned. Oh, no, no! Okay, okay. Lock in, lock in, lock in. No!
No consequence.
Monkey down! Fuck yeah.
Square.
Alright, this guy is easy on his own now. He says, he better not kill me. There we go. There we go. First try, baby. First try. So easy. This game's so easy. I don't know what people are talking about. Hard game. I feel like that deserves a clip. That deserves a clip. All right. I don't know if I grabbed it. I think I was probably too slow killing. Too slow. First try, baby. Absolutely ridiculous. That was, you know, if those bosses had been really powered up, that would have rivaled Farmer's Farmer's Shark Challenge, you know?
Enough gear here to start a bloody war.
Or like one of Ziz's gauntlets. All bosses are accompanied by an all damage chills temp bubble caster. How about that for a league modifier? There's the vision, baby. Oh, he's a prevent recovery, right?
Pity. Her legacy remains.
Oh, we got another medallion. I guess I can go place a room, right? No, can I pick up the loot underneath? No? Alright, I'll come back for that. Boom, boom, boom. I think I should be able to place one of these rooms. There we go. Now I can keep picking stuff up.
This could fetch a pretty penny.
Well, that's a good crafting base. Oh no, keep these. Sell.
Hello there.
Sell all this. Where the map's in. Alright. I feel like I saw the health bar for a second monkey as well, so... Uh-oh.
Another medallion.
My soul for some greater jeweler's orbs, eh?
You lot love virtue, and no reek of stupidity. Swear.
Oh, there's another unique mob in here. Oh, fuck. Definitely a bit underpowered for this temple, I think. Good job I'm using a good build and not the one that I'm planning on switching to.
Your life is forfeit. Give in to your doom. Pathetic.
FOW shenanigans. That full HP second monkey. Oh, okay, right. Don't need to worry, eh? It's not roaming around. Might be though, eh?
No consequence.
It might be roaming around looking for me.
They are pathetic idiots.
Nice. Crystallized corruption. We'll need those later. And then we also get a cultivation orb from this run. Maybe I shouldn't kill Architect. Oh, fuck. This stupid fucking temple is just full of temp bubbles and all damage chills.
Open your eyes.
What am I, a melee player? Is this temple making me cosplay as melee?
No for that. Open your eyes.
No, I'm just gonna do armor piercing rounds.
Open your eyes.
Can't be bothered to keep switching ammo, to be honest. And then this will be my cultivation orb. Because I think I just protected both of these from being destroyed. So I think I should skip Architect until they get destroyed, right? And just farm a bunch of orbs. Seeing as I'm basically SSF.
Lady Luck's not so.
Oh, Locus of Corruption doesn't give me a double corrupt orb? I thought it gave me a double corrupt orb. Oh no, that is cultivation orb, isn't it? Duh. No, wait. No, that's the replace modifier. What? I thought tier 3 corruption chamber was double corrupt. Oh no, it's not actually upgraded yet, is it? No, this is still T2 because I just added those rooms. Never mind, I'm being a dummy. Alright, I'm gonna leave. And see if we keep the rooms. Yeah, there we go. So now I get gem corruption, cultivation orb, double corrupt. So I'll just keep doing that. Nice.
Well, well. What is it?
Back to maps. Back to maps, baby.
Yes. Hello. All gold is worth more than find more breach remnants.
And
for
we'll
my
keep all these uniques for chance orbing. Chance orbing, probably Viper Cap first. Though I've only got one. Here's on my filter, right? No, don't change game. Load the right game. Yeah. They've just not been dropping. Oh, I do have one chance orb. First time? What do you think? First time? Viper cap? Constricting command? And it's gone. T6 corrupted zone I need, so I probably need to do this rupture. Should probably think about starting to use tablets. Get me some more dropperoonies.
Well, that's one down.
Nice to find a gear upgrade at some point. That SSF life, eh? See you next time, Zerok. Or Zero CDN. Zerok DN. I'm not sure how to say your name. But yeah, thanks for hanging out. It's been a pleasure chatting with you. Sweet dreams and all that. I hope my channel keeps growing too. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. All I gotta do is spend weeks at a time making video essays, eh? That's all. Play the game, make video essay.
Close and personal.
Yeah, another half an hour and it'll be bedtime for me.
Another notch on the arm.
Now, people are offering up gear in trade, eh? Chaos damage, cast speed. Bombard crossbow is like the Act 3 one. I don't know why. Oh, I guess it's a blacksmith's whetstones, which I do need. Probably. Oh, here we go. Our first chance at a perfect essence of battle. No, I don't think I hit it.
Now I feel tight.
Add Shadewalker onto that temporal bubble, always chills monster, and now we're talking, yeah. You're an evil, evil man, protagonist. But I think that fight was long enough that the clip doesn't even do justice to how annoying that was. Blood makes the grass grow. Give the Colosseum what it wants. Give the Colosseum what it wants. They bray for bay? Baying for blood, right? Is it bray? It's bay, right? Bay for blood, anyway. In 0.1, I was grouped up with somebody for once and our builds weren't very good. My duo had died and was waiting for me to clear the map. I ran into a periodic invincible aura proximal tangibility on a burrower. Ooh, Aminamu's Void. Omen of Light. Fuck yeah. That was utter hell. Yeah. Yeah, I had a really juiced temple. It might have even been in hardcore. And I went into a T3 Spymaster room. And the Spymaster had periodic invulnerability. And the other rare had heals allies. I was in that room for so long. I don't think if I've ever been in a room for as long as I was with that combo. I just couldn't quite burst down one of them. Oops. Okay, that was my fault. I looked away. What did I get for his trouble? 1 transformation orb. Yeah, probably didn't even get the room lock medallion, right? Oh, right, your friend. You and your friend got 1 transformation orb, yeah. That sounds about right. Alright, I should probably pay attention during a monkey fight. Oh, you meant me. Right, yeah. Yeah, I don't know what I got. My character survived at least.
Seems I was the right man for the job.
You had to clear all rares to clear the map. Ah, back in the day, eh? Back in the day. Alright, we're in yellow maps. Maybe I'll go do my T3 Sekimas. Did I find a barrier? I did. Alright, let's do a level 71 Sekima.
Have you found more of what we... Acceptable.
What is this? Thank you. Thank you for that. Thank you for that clip, protagonist. Very kind.
Find more breach
Very
remnants
kind.
for my research.
I didn't realize the timing was so perfect that I said couldn't quite burst him down and then I died. The look away, yeah. This is, this is the problem with just, being a I'm just enjoying softcore for the experience it's meant to be. Getting the new player experience. Defense layering, eh? I should get better, like I should get used to when I turn to look at chat that I should also keep one eye on the OBS recording so I can also see the game. All right, let's see what downside we must take. Probably honor restored. Or energy shield. Oh, I can do energy shield. That'll be fine. Even though I have to do a gauntlet to get there. I am, yeah. I have some regrets that maybe I'm doing this in an SSF league when I have so much else to do. I feel like I have to grind quite a lot to even do the switch. Perhaps I should have just done this in trade or something if I wanted to play PoE 2, where I've got like 1,000 divines. I could just bought the basic stuff that I needed to get the build online. I still could, I guess. I still could. Isn't that a bit of a shame? Yeah, it would be. It would be. In some ways, right? I just feel like I have a lot to do, right? I probably end up saving time switching. Yeah, quite a lot of time, right? It's just because I have so much work to do on the next video. Plus, the bank holiday weekend is over tomorrow. Today, right? This is the last day of the weekend, so I'll also have to do my job again. So yeah, maybe I don't have time to grind a bad character in SSF. Or maybe it doesn't matter when I get the character done. Maybe I don't need to play offline. Maybe I can just keep playing the bad character in SSF for the next 4 weeks. That's perfectly reasonable, isn't it? You get your monkey blood. I don't have to worry about grinding or spending too much time on the build. I think Xerox said earlier that DM might have posted his reaction as a YouTube video. I haven't actually looked. His reaction to my video. Did he? No, he didn't. I guess it's just in his VOD. Which is fine. Oops. Yeah, I think I'm probably pleased that he's not posted his reaction as a YouTube video. I'm not sure how much it helps me as a small streamer. I think him doing it in his stream was pretty good. Got it a little bit more traction, but I think if he posted a full YouTube video reaction, I think it would end up usurping my content. Which is just the nature of how YouTube works, right? Ritual into... Oh, I have to take the deal 40% less damage. Ruh-roh.
The ritual has been disrupted.
Yeah, he was generally quite favorable to my diagnosis and less favorable to my proposed solution. I don't need to take any of these. I think one of the interesting things that DM says is that people are overestimating what GGG can get done in terms of reworking it. And I think I take his opinion on that relatively seriously because he's been to their offices, right, and met the team, seen how many people there are there, what they're working on. I don't know how much knowledge he has of like the actual development life cycle, but he might be right, you know, that they wouldn't be able to do something even like I suggested, even if they'd started working on it before.
Go with strength. Go with strength. On
I was a pretty lucky merchant.
the forehead is formidable. Steel yourself.
The forehead is formidable. Either way, you think it's good for people to voice their opinions? Yeah, I completely agree, right? I had some comments on the video of like, you know, I think one of the weird ones was that GGG, you know, people need to remember that this was always just a placeholder and people need to forget about critiquing it because GGG are going to scrap it at some point anyway. But yeah, I don't think that's... I mean, it's not fun. It's not fun to not think about how a system can be improved, even if they do decide to scrap it.
Out for the slam.
That's what I'd categorize as toxic positivity. The take that GGG said they were going to get rid of it, so don't worry about critiquing it or thinking about how it could be better.
Let's plan. Onwards. May that serve you.
Too many people try to drown out constructive criticism when there can be legitimate grievances behind them. Yeah, and I wouldn't even classify, like, you know, it as a grievance, right? It's the system can be better. Let's think about how it might be. We don't want afflictions or unknown. We could probably do less honor. I think the lack of signposting is a valid grievance. Yeah, I think so, yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess you're right. It is a grievance. I guess I just feel like grievance is a harsh word when I'm like giving feedback on a game, but yeah. Yeah, but yeah, I think it is just the right word. I don't know. I think I just reacted to the word rather than the meaning of it. In 0.3, I went generally one direction on the Atlas and took over 100 maps to get my first Citadel. Yeah, I think I had that problem as well on one of my characters. I might have just been thinking about it in a different mindset. Yeah, possibly.
A great challenge overcome.
We can do less honor, and then we get a couple of freebies. Yeah, because I mean, the way, you know, to come back to the next video, I think, yeah, I'm not sure if my defenses video is going to end up being a critique or feedback. I'm not sure with the way that it's turning out. Maybe it will. Yeah, I think I'm going back and forth on the core argument.
The ritual has been disrupted.
I think my core argument is that why do defenses feel unbalanced? Not to scare me or anything, but sometimes you need to get one draft done to realize the direction you're heading and then make a new one. Yeah, no, that doesn't scare me. I have to do that in my job. So, but yeah. I think a big part of the video is going to be like a compendium of the defensive options in the game, which I'm going to have fun making. I'm going to do some diagrams. I'm going to learn some new animation techniques in DaVinci.
Simple enough.
But yeah, I think originally it was like, are defenses unbalanced in the game? And now it's, why defenses feel unbalanced in the game? I mean, the list you sent me, I think, was topics we'd already discussed, right? In some cases. You know, there was definitely stuff there that I was already thinking about in terms of like, you know, one of the main questions that I think originally inspired me to start thinking about the video, which I think was what should kill you and when, or what is the punishment for making a mistake. I think that was still the core of like what started it all, right? But I think I just keep coming back to balance being movement based, like half of the balance equation being movement based. Here's a question for you. I had a quick look earlier and I was trying to find an example of a POE 1 Uber boss kill that actually took a long time. Where the person had to interact with the mechanics while doing damage rather than, you know, do 20 million damage, do phase transition, move around during phase transition, boss comes out of phase transition, do 20 million damage, move to the next phase. That's all I seem to be able to find for Uber bossing in PoE 1. Because I'm trying to figure out if click to move has an impact on movement-based defensive layering. Because I know we talked about whether or not PoE 2 should have movement skills, and I think PoE 2 does have movement skill, right? It's dodge. can I restate the question? So I'm trying to work out how much of an impact movement has in PoE 1 in defensive layering, right? When you're doing bossing in PoE 1, how important is moving versus passive defenses? And I think people seem to say that it's very important when you get to uber bosses. So I was trying to find an example video where someone is just doing all of the mechanics on an uber boss when it's not a phase transition. Because they go invulnerable, right? And then you have to do a bunch of movement mechanics, but you don't have to worry about dealing damage while you're doing those mechanics. So I was trying to find an example where where the player was moving around while doing damage rather than just zerging them down and ignoring everything they're doing before the phase transition. Oh, I don't want... Oh, damn, these are all bad. I guess it's lose sacred water on room completion. Some bosses have mechanics while they're still able to be damaged, right? But do the players interact with them, really? Are they like... I guess there is some movement, right? But the majority of defenses I think I was trying to support was that the majority of defenses are passive based. It might be good to look at some of the early boss kills. What do you know when Ubers were introduced? Alright, I am taking too many hits. Fuck off. No, was some added over time too? Yeah, I think I'm just going to have to do a bunch of research. I thought maybe if I look for ruthless Uber kills, maybe that will help. If there are any. I know Osterix did, he was the first, was it hardcore, ruthless, hardcore solo self-sound, so hardcore solo self-sound, found, wow, that's a mouthful. Hardcore solo self-found, ruthless 4 void stones. Osterix was the first one to do that, right? So maybe those would just be good examples of whether or not movement was important. Or how important movement can be. I just don't know if a streamer's first ever Uber kill is gonna paint that picture, right? Because they could still just turn up with 100 million DPS. That's the problem, right? That I'm trying to look past. Yeah, we'll see. See what I can find out. Chalice or Gauntlet. Well, I don't want minimap is hidden. Fuck that. Back then there was less power creep. Uber at Zeri. Oh yeah, I think Uber at Zeri maybe was a thing when I was playing. That's a very old boss, isn't it? Yeah, I guess actually thinking about Uber of Zeri, yeah, she had some interesting mechanics, right? She had the old Reflect clone that I got to re-encounter in the temple when I was playing POE 1 this league. I wonder how difficult all the bosses are without dodge roll. Didn't I also say this lastly that you could feel when you were doing less damage because of when you were moving around? In PoE 1 last league, you mean?
Two ancient guardians await you ahead.
Yeah, I was playing Arc, right? So I had to stand in place to cast. Yeah, my build this league wasn't really a good showcase of that, eh? Because I had minions doing all the damage for me.
Move quickly.
Killing charge.
I think I want to kill the freeze one first. Unless I can get them down to... Oh, fuck.
It's gaining strength.
If I get him down right, it's going to heal up. Yeah. Fuck. That does so much damage. Oh, fuck. Never mind. I said my defenses were there so I could cast briefly and not die doing it. How do I leave Sekimos? Let me out. No, there we go. Alright, well, I died on purpose because it's the end of my stream. Yeah, I don't really remember the full Arc experience because I didn't do that much in the end game. RIP. But yeah, I mean, definitely with like Deep Delve doing Owl, I just, you know, I had 450,000 effective HP with my Absolution build. Not my Absolution build, Runaway's Absolution build. And so I could just stand in most stuff. And then if I died, it didn't matter, right? Because 6 portals. I have to say as well, watching Uber Maven kills, a lot of them contain deaths. Even with Omega DPS. You know, they like insta-phase her and they still end up dying during the fight. So But anyway, that's the end of the stream today. It's been a good chat. Thanks for hanging out. Yeah, 6 portal defense is a thing. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, I think we're going to have to look at hardcore kills. Good luck. Good luck with the research. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. I'm going to start putting together the script and see if the argument comes together into a cohesive story. I've got a lot of stuff written down, so I just need to start collating it and drawing diagrams. But yeah, thanks for hanging out. Have a good evening, and I'll be back on tomorrow evening, same time, 8 p.m. till 11 p.m. UK time.